Welcome to the girls, all new shows here. We waited a little bit through COVID, and now with our social distancing, we're back here taping at the Laurel Mall, and I'm super duper excited to talk about our guests coming up as we look at the positive and what we're doing to get us through COVID. It feels like the whole entire year is just COVID. 2020, the year of just stay at home and figure everything out from your four walls.
So yeah, it brought a lot of changes, a lot of good changes, a lot of sacrifice, and a lot of revamping of things and awareness. Some people were already doing things like that, but I think it was a good cleanse.
You learn what you need, what is essential, and what you don't need.
Absolutely. Your family. Yep. We certainly have enjoyed some family time. Just sitting back a little bit of that, relaxing from that hustle and bustle every day. It was nice.
Your new norm, I know some people don't like that, but the new norm of how you operate and function in your routine.
Are you normal?
For that? No, I'm not. But the new norm, as in your routines, because normally now I'm on Zoom meetings, so if I even have makeup on, it's, I have my makeup on and I have, pants on, obviously, but I don't have a full
You have the anchor outfit on.
Right, I just have like a nice shirt on. And that's it. But
pajama bottoms.
I did learn one trick for me is, in the beginning I wasn't, I was wearing my hair in a ponytail a lot, so I wasn't really washing my hair as much. And then it became like a game, like, okay, how long could I not wash my hair? Weird, right? But I found these products now that I am like addicted to, and I made fun of people that used to use them, but it's not. I won't show the brand, but they're basically the dry shampoo and conditioner, right? And today I washed my hair just for you guys and our guests.
Well, thank you. We
But
feel
usually
so
my
honored.
hair is so healthy and my skin feels better because I don't have all that makeup caked on it all the time. Don't you feel the same way?
Yeah, well, the doctors always say that we wash
less is
ourselves
more.
to death.
I wear like the same 4 outfits and I just keep rewashing them.
You're finding that you don't need all of this stuff that we have.
That we used to have. Don't you think that too?
I definitely agree. I've learned a lot of different things. Sometimes you're short on time for things. I've learned some shortcuts, and I've also learned that I don't have to be somewhere all the time. I could be at home doing the same thing that I need to get done, but just in a different location, which has made my life a little less stressful.
You have an office in your home.
I do, and my office isn't even far from our home, but it still is nice just to disconnect a little bit and still be able to get what you have to do done.
Well, my husband's been home a lot because we have the home office now, and he found out that he has a life. And he's using his wife to cook because he would go out for lunch every day. So I had to start taking the shortcuts also there because I have cooked every single day since COVID started. We have not been out, we have not ordered out. One thing I ordered, my girlfriend told me about her name is Gresh, and I know she's watching.
Gray.
But this is a pasta cooker, but I use it for so much more. And what you do is you just take the lid off. This is the steamer tray. And these little things on the side will measure 1 serving of pasta if you're using spaghetti. And it comes with a little booklet that tells you all the times that you have to cook everything. But you just fill it with water to number 1 if it's 1 serving. You put it just like this in the microwave for I think 15 minutes. It frees up 15 minutes of your time. I mean, I don't have to watch a pot. It just cooks the pasta right in there.
She's bought everyone I know this device. So if you want it, just call Deb. She probably has 16 more in the basement.
And then when it's done, you put this on, you drain it, and you put it in your dish so you don't have that ugly spaghetti pot with the strainer and all the whatever.
And let me tell you
But I
something.
made steamed shrimp in here. Oh my God, they were so delicious.
So you can do more than just pasta.
And
I made
kids can
potato
use it.
salad in here. I got potatoes and peeled them and cut them up and put them in here and steamed them.
Wow.
And then I made the potato salad.
All right. Well, we have a special guest. As you know, through COVID, a lot of things have closed down, including the gyms. I know some of you gained the COVID-19, as they're calling it, but our guest is a returning guest, Michelle Gresh, and she's here to motivate you, get you in shape, or keep you healthy through COVID-19. So we're excited to have her. The name of her new exercise online is called G-Fit. I'm a member. I'm wearing my t-shirt. We have t-shirts, we have tank tops, we have hats, and she joins us next, so stay with us right here. We're gonna pump some iron with Michelle Gresh. You are watching the girls. This is a before and after picture of our returning guest, Michelle Gresh. We are talking about fitness. We're talking about getting in shape, losing weight through COVID. I don't know, everyone that I talk to, most people anyway, tell me that they've gained weight through COVID. Either their gym's closed, they're less active, so they're like, how can I get back in the groove, right?
Yeah, you don't know where to start sometimes. So I think with Michelle, being the fitness guru, with the great things that you accomplished yourself without having a diet doctor or a program or a keto
Never got
diet
help
or
at
this
all,
diet
really.
or that
Fad.
the diet
Never
thing.
followed any fads,
Yeah,
no.
tell us about the diet thing. What do you think about diets?
I think they're stressful and complicated, and they add a lot of anxiety to people's lives that are, that's not necessary.
The word just makes you get
word.
nervous. It's
The
just
word-
like,
the
tomorrow I'm
word
going on a diet, and it's almost like restriction.
Yeah, I think the unhappiest I ever was on this journey was when I was on a diet. So that didn't last too long, and I figured out a way to just learn how to move every day and think about what I'm eating and not, add that stress to my life of feeling like I can't go out for dinner, feeling like I can't have that cheeseburger, feeling like I can't eat anything just to be thin. So, I am a personal trainer now, so I never really stress the word diet with any of my clients because I just think it creates a lot of anxiety that we don't need.
I definitely agree that it creates anxiety because I know for myself, I've gained with some weight,
Right.
especially like during COVID, as Janine said, I had knee surgery.
Okay.
So I was already not as active as normal. Then I had knee surgery, which has kept me a little bit less mobile than I like to be. And the thought of giving up food and certain things makes me more anxious,
Right.
because I think about, oh, but I can't have that.
Right.
And then, or feeling hungry.
It's just added anxiety. And, I find a lot of women that fixate so much on the diet part of being healthy actually end up overeating because they don't just, realize that you can have the things that you want in moderation and be happy when you sit down to have a meal versus trying to figure out what your diet's going to be for that day. And you sit to have breakfast and then it's not really what you wanted. So then you're picking throughout the day, and then lunch comes around and you've already overeaten because for breakfast you had to have that yogurt and you had to have that oatmeal and it really wasn't what you wanted. So that's what I have found with myself, is that when I fixated on the foods I was consuming, it just created a really unhappy, stressful lifestyle for me.
Take us back, for those that don't know you from the previous show that you were on, take us back to how your journey began.
Yeah, I was pretty large. I was the day before my 21st birthday. I headed off to the doctor for a checkup, and I got on the scale and I was tipping close to 230. And something just, seeing that number on the scale, there were things leading up to that, being called fat, being told by people to start skipping some meals. It was definitely leading up to me, realizing that I had something going on. But seeing it in front of you, thinking about your age and how old you are and what that number means, it just kind of terrified me. And that next day, I was just done. And I knew nothing about exercise.
How did
really.
you get started?
Walked off that scale, and my 21st birthday was the next day. And I tell this story all the time, and it was the last piece of cake I had for a while. When you're somebody who's trying to lose weight, you do have to have that period of time where you cut back, you don't eat those things that are necessarily terrible for you. There has to be a period of time where if you're trying to lose weight, where you really have to be mindful, and that was just it for me. I didn't eat cake or garbage for a good 6 months, and I really started with walking. I was too big to do anything else. I started with walking. I headed back to college that Monday morning, and I woke up at 5 a.m. and I just started going up and down the football stadium stairs. It started there, just moving. And I have to be honest, in high school I was a cheerleader, so I didn't really know a lot about fitness and exercise and what it even meant to read a nutrition label. I would just eat, you're on the go, you think that, you're invincible. And then you head off to school, there's no structure when you're in college, and the things that are easiest for us are usually what's the worst for us: fried chicken and French fries and pizza and all those things, which you can have in moderation, but when you're off to school, you're not paying attention to those things, and the weight just added on, and I would just come home, and people that hadn't seen me, it was just those subtle comments that,
And eating is such a social activity.
It is.
So you're in college and that was your social activity.
It was.
Let's go for a pizza. Let's go
head
for a
over to
burger.
the Union. Let's hang out. Let's,
When you say, though, the structure, that's what we want to talk about, because our structure was actually taken away from us when COVID hit. So bring us back to right when COVID hit, and then we were all quarantined. It was like everyone's world just...
I think I cried that day.
Like you hit a brick wall where you're going 95,000 miles a minute.
Well,
and
somebody
then you
pulled your
just-
plug.
Yeah,
they pulled our plug.
And let's face it, for a lot of people, exercise is about managing anxiety, managing stress, managing depression,
Whatever makes you eat.
coping, right? So for me, exercise just makes me a better person all around. And I think that, it was great that I took the weight off, but it's definitely part of why I do it every day, probably 90% of why I do it every day. If you start to do it for yourself, for anxiety, for depression, just to feel better, the other part of it kind of comes in. You're gonna get that body you want, because you're gonna get addicted to how good it feels to move. And that's a lot of what's happening with the girls in GFit, who some of them haven't moved in 30 years. Are like, wow, I feel so much better. I'm getting messages from husbands. My wives are so happier. So, that part of exercise, which is, is as equally, if not, more important for your health, is just managing your anxiety. And when COVID hit, I was just like, oh my God, I'm like that busy mom who my hour a day in the morning before I have to manage my daughter all day and chase her around and get the house duties done and the finances, like that's my time where I regroup every day. Like, what am I gonna do now? I was in panic mode, and I'm like, what am I gonna do? No gym, you could only walk so much, you could only run so much. And it hit in March, so the weather really wasn't perfect yet for those activities. And I just woke up on a Monday and I took a deep breath, and I'm like, all right, how am I gonna tackle this? Janine knows, I'm a fitness coordinator down in Philadelphia. I kind of had the world in my hands, packing fitness classes, ton of personal training clients, and then it just all comes to a halt. And you just have to, you really have to have the courage to step back, regroup, and come up with a plan. And that's kind of what I did.
So you had QFit, which was
I had
quarantine
QFit,
fit, and it was
which-
free, right? And
I knew that I needed a support system.
yeah,
Because of this, so I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna start one online. Well, it headed back to, I was teaching free classes. And this was crazy. It was somebody who was local, who just, I would post daily workouts that I was doing. Hey, if anybody wants to do these, feel free to hop on. Here's what I'm doing today. And then somebody reached out and said, is there any chance that you can video this? Because I'm trying to do it with my girls. We don't necessarily understand the moves. So then I started videoing them. And then somebody from Philadelphia, who's actually one of my bosses, said, why don't you try just going live, teaching a class live? And I thought, oh God, what's it gonna be like to teach a class to a camera? Can I do that? Do I have the courage to do that? Then I started doing that, and then it just created this huge movement. It's almost like, I call it a movement now. It's a group, and it's a fitness group, but it's become like this movement where, we check in with every day. We hold each other accountable. We keep each other uplifted. We inspire each other. We encourage each other. I mean, there's women in the group who are in their 60s, you know, checking in with me every day that was at my local community center. And there's some women from out in California who is in a worse state than we are, who don't have gyms yet. It's just become this big, empowering environment to just go to during such a dark time. And I think that is what a lot of the women write to me and just say, hey, this is like the best part of my life right now because everything else is so negative.
All right, Michelle, we're going to stop right there for just a minute. We'll be back very soon, and we would like to remind you all to shop local and support all of our sponsors here on The Girls. And when we come back, we'll learn a little bit more about G-Fit with Michelle.
Welcome back to The Girls' brand new shows, and we are with Michelle Gresh. She is a returning guest. We're talking about staying healthy through 2020. And Michelle, for people just tuning in, you know, you can talk, I'm sure, for so many days on this. We have 8 minutes. You can talk on it for 8 days. But quickly, give us some bullet points of your philosophy with health and fitness.
I think my biggest philosophy is don't complicate it. There are so many gimmicks out there and fad diets, and just the fitness industry is booming with a lot of unneeded things. And I will be the first person to admit that as a personal trainer. That's my biggest philosophy is don't complicate it, don't overthink it. And with the food part of it is, you know, it's calories in, calories out. And no matter what it is you're eating, if you eat more than you burn, you're gonna gain weight. And there's really, it doesn't get much more complicated than that. You know, when I look at a nutrition label, I look at the calories only, and that is the truth. And I know how many calories I could have a day, and that's what I aim for. I factor in those moments where I'm moving to know how much I may have burned. And that's really how I approach fitness. That's been, you know, kind of what I've been preaching to the members in G-Fit, who some of them are pretty blind to exercise and diet, and I'm just trying to lead them down better paths of not obsessing about the process. Don't obsess over it. Get up every day. I have the 4% rule that I kind of, you know, talk about a lot in G-Fit, and it's like, you know, 4% of your day. When you think about 4% of your day to move your body and burn some good calories and strengthen your heart, it's really not all that much. And that's really my philosophy is take 45 minutes, take a half hour, 20 minutes is all you got. Get up and move your body and devote a part of your day to that every day. And that's probably my biggest philosophy is just don't complicate it. You know, and I think COVID has definitely taught us that it doesn't have to be complicated. The way that I teach my classes is body weight movements, where we're getting down, you know, we're working, doing push-ups for upper body strengthening, we're doing planks for upper body strengthening, we're doing jumping jacks for our cardio. You know, your body, I think what we've learned is just your greatest machine. You can do so much with your body, and as we go along with this program in G-Fit, I think that's what we're all, even myself as a trainer, studying how to deliver this service online. How can I get savvy? How can I use my own body in every way imaginable to get a workout in?
Well, you have various ages of people, I'm sure. What are the ages, age brackets?
So I think I have some 16-year-olds that do it, and then I know I have some women in their late 60s that do it.
Okay, so do you customize each workout, or do you have different classes?
So the other thing with G-Fit is, you know, I don't, there's like a no excuses kind of rule with me. We can all move. It's just we might have to move in different ways. So if somebody comes to me and they're just simply afraid to join, they haven't exercised, they don't know what a move is, they don't know how to do a move, everything is, there's just no excuse. Everything is modifiable with me. I try to give modifications through every workout that I do. I try to give a couple different tempos if you can't go as fast. I also teach silver sneakers, so I teach 65 and older before COVID hit, so I'm very well versed in proper modifications, and I'm a personal trainer, so I'm very big on corrective exercise, doing things properly. It becomes contradictive when you do them wrong. If I say give me 20 jumping jacks and they're all wrong, you're better off going slower and giving me 10 correct ones. Things like that. So
you teach people how to exercise, why they have to exercise, how
to
often exercise,
why.
and how about what they do eat? I mean, you said eat mindfully. Well, how do people know what to eat mindfully?
Right.
Like what one person thinks is
Servings.
mindful. So
So,
if the
you know,
potato chips say 14, you should eat 14.
Right. I put a post up just this past week. Simply, I was out to dinner and I had a basket of French fries. Okay, and I easily was given 3 or 4 servings of French fries.
So how many French fries are in a serving?
15. So I right away just take a handful and I push them aside. And I said to the girls in the group, like, when you're about to consume something, ask yourself if it's worth it. If you really want it and you need it, have it, but have it within portion. And if you're gonna go beyond that portion, ask yourself if it's worth throwing down 100 burpees to burn it off. Like I once had somebody say, I could eat a whole cheesecake. And I'm like, really? Oh yeah, how can you not? I'd have to run a marathon to burn it off. It's not worth it to me.
Yeah, that's
So
because you've already reached your goal.
Yeah, a lot of it is self-educating, just knowing, you don't need 2 pieces of cheese on a cheeseburger. You don't. It's just planning. Janine and I talk a lot about planning. Okay, I got anxiety. I got a party tonight. I can't eat. Well, you can. Wake up your 4% of the day, move your body, get your workout in, eat a lighter breakfast, eat a lighter lunch, go out and enjoy yourself. Because tomorrow you're gonna do it all over again. For a lot of these women, it was just understanding how important it was to take the time for themselves. Right. Some of them wake up at 5 a.m., some of them check in at 11 p.m., realizing that now they need that time.
And guess what? They have you, because a lot of people don't know who to turn to. So how do they get in touch with you? What do they do?
The best way is Facebook, and if somebody wants to do a nutrition type diet consult where we figure out calories, I like to do a phone chat. It makes it a little more interpersonal. But yeah, I'm always available. I welcome questions. I want people to succeed. I want them to feel good about themselves. And people have all shapes and sizes they're comfortable with. So if you're comfortable with a size, great. I want you to feel how good it is to move. That's my goal for this.
All right, well, we could talk about this forever and ever and ever and ever, but you want to leave them with one tip, just one tip.
Don't complicate it. Okay. Show up every day.
And don't give up what you like, right?
Enjoy. I always say, like, if you're sitting down and you're eating a meal and you're not truly enjoying it, there's something wrong, right? You want to enjoy your food. You don't want to just eat certain things. It's like the salad roll. I eat salads to call myself healthy, but are you really enjoying it? Right? Are you really enjoying what you're eating? Learn to enjoy what you eat so that you're not making up for it on the back end.
You can follow Michelle Gresh on Facebook. You'll see all the videos there of what she
Lots of
actually.
replays.
This one doesn't eat healthy either. Let me tell you,
No.
muffins, chocolate
Life's too
before
short.
workouts. But she's in it. Again, check her out on Facebook. And cheers to the rest of 2020 being a very healthy year.
Cheers.